Bristol Motor Speedway, the finale course of the long 2014 Upstate Racing League. The championship has been decided, so for all the drivers coming to the track tonight at Bristol, it's going to be about pride. It's going to be about craftsmanship. It's going to be about handiwork. Each of these drivers will come into the bull ring, to the modern-day Coliseum at Bristol Motor Speedway, but only one can come out champion among champions. You are watching the Upstate Racing League season finale at Bristol Motor Speedway live on LSRTV. Good evening, race fans. Joe Cortez, Justin Stout joining you. And Justin, this is kind of a home court track for you, so I'm sure you are very excited to see these guys do battle over 150 laps around the half-mile bull ring at Bristol.
Oh yeah, we're getting real excited for this race. There's going to be a lot of beating banging going on tonight. It's going to be a real fast pace. If these guys can keep it clean, it's going to go by fast. If not, it's going to be tons of carnage.
It ought to be a little bit of both here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Between them, only a handful of races, or a whole handful of points between them to decide who's going to walk away with that third place trophy.
Yeah, and these guys are going to be going like crazy, being the last race of the season. Man, they're going to be going for broke, hammered down all the way.
Absolutely they will. Less than a minute remaining in the happy hour tonight, and I think the biggest storyline that I am following, or one of the big storylines I'm following, is your champion, Justin Fuller, the Checkpoint Designs graphics driver, did not take a qualifying time tonight. He's going to start all the way from the back of the field here at Bristol. So 150 laps, he's going to try to claw his way to the top tonight if he wants to have his best season ever with 6 wins here in the Upstate Racing League. I don't think it can't be done, but it is going to be a Herculean feat, to say the least.
Yeah, I'd say he's glad he's got that points wrapped up, because that's going to be a hard battle coming from the back here. These guys are going to be all over the place, blocking. I mean, they're getting sideways here and warm up. It's going to be pretty wild.
Going to be a lot of fun. Now, I know you've run this track here before, and I want to really get your opinion. What's going to be the secret to winning here at Bristol tonight?
Keeping them fenders clean, keeping that nose clean is going to be the big thing. If they get a big run on you, you can really hold them off on that high line. They have grounded down a little bit, but there's still a ton of grip out there, and it really sticks good once the tires get warmed down. So I think you're going to need to run a middle to high groove and keep that hammer down and keep the car real clean to win this one.
Definitely going to be a challenge for each of the drivers out here tonight. 18 drivers will take the green flag here at Bristol as we get ready to go down to tonight's qualifying order presented by Joe Dubuque Painting in the Upstate Racing League. 12 races complete this season, and this is the 12th and final race for these guys before they go green flag racing for the next season later on this year. And sitting on the pole as soon as he gets to the pole is your administrator. There he is, Al Smith Jr., your administrator here at Upstate Racing League. He is going to start on the pole of the field. Number 20 machine, 16.225 seconds is qualifying time. Charlie Ryan starts position number 2. Jason McClatchy will start 3rd. Justin DeRosa is 4th. Cody Myers starts 5th. Kevin Baker starts 6th. Jared Turnbull 7th. Brian Wilson starts position number 8. Row number 5 belongs to Ken Lindsay III, and Darren Leslie. Row number 6 belongs to your Rookie of the Year, Chris Roberts. Brandon Otto on the outside of him. Row number 7 belongs to Zach Regenball and Dan Dubuque. Positions 13 and 14th, respectively. Last driver to take time out here, Scott Davis, turning in a time of 16.913 seconds. He will start 15th on the field. Nick Rasmussen, Eric Haig, and your champion, Justin Fuller, electing to start from the back. And Justin Fuller has got the big task in front of him complete. Get through the field of 17 drivers in front of him and ultimately try to win the 6th and final race of his campaign this year. Again, I don't think it can't be done, but it's going to be very interesting watching him try it.
Yeah, he's going to have to be on that loud pedal the whole entire way to get through that field, and he's going to have to be careful doing it, because these guys are going to be cutting down on him, getting loose, cutting him off. They're going to do anything and everything to hold that position.
Nothing at risk here tonight at Bristol. It is all going to be about the drivers, the driving ability, the driving style, and either you have it or you don't. 18 drivers will come in and do battle at the modern-day Coliseum How many will end up as a result? That's the big question tonight. Pace car comes down pit road for the first time. Al Smith Jr. starting from the outside line. He is going to get ready to lead them to the green flag. Green flag flies, and we have started lap 1 of 100 on the field, and immediately two-line racing all the way around the field. Al Smith under fire from Charlie Ryan. In fourth, but back in third, Justin DeRosa's playing two lines as Kevin Baker, the 66 machine, gets loose. He's going to be forced to drop behind the 70 of Jason McClatchy. DeRosa's, and Charlie Ryan all battling for position number 3. 1 lap in the books, and Charlie Ryan's in the best place to pick that up, but don't count out McClatchy yet.
We got a wreck off 4, guys. That's the 11 and looks like the 61. Or is that the 91?
That is the 11 of Brian Wilson. Looks like he got involved with the 24 machine. We'll have to wait for Laura to get that replay queued up. But first caution out on the field tonight, and it will involve the 11 of Brian Wilson, the 24 of Brandon Otto, and the 51 of Justin Fuller. You're watching the replay now. Brian Wilson gets into the 24 machine, either trying to get some position or maybe the 24 machine came up on him. Hard to say, but the 11 goes for a ride. The 24 and the 15 both get collected, and then there goes the 61 machine straight into the rear quarter panel of the 11. That's 61 belonging to Dan Dubuque. Hard times for the Joe Dubuque painting machine, and then the 00 comes in and collects the rest of the damage. That is Eric Haig getting a piece of that heavy front end damage for Eric Haig, but most importantly, Brian Wilson, Dan Dubuque, they will not be able to finish tonight's race under their own power. The 18 come in, and already 2 off the track, 16 remain on the field.
Yeah, it looks like these guys were going for broke right there. They just all piled up. Man, when they get sideways out here, it just blocks the whole entire track. You might as well just almost stop because there ain't no place to go when they get sideways like that.
Dan Dubuque telling the crew, I think the engine's done on this thing, but take a look anyway, see what we can do to salvage it. The Joe Dubuque painting machine in a world of hurt after that incident, and that will bring out the first caution flag before lap number 5 is completed. And I've got a feeling that you're going to be right here, Jason. I've got a feeling that that early caution is going to set the tone for what's going to be an incredibly contentious race.
Yeah, these guys, we're going to see it all race. They're going to beat and bang on each other. There's some of them that's going to want to keep it clean, but I mean, you get loose out there and you're too wide already, and there's not a lot of racing room, even though they did widen this track out a little bit. But I mean, it's still tight quarters racing, and they're going to be beating and banging the whole way, man.
The best half mile in the entire NASCAR circuit, in my opinion, anyways. But you know, everyone is entitled to their own opinions. Let's go off on the pace car. Charlie Ryan, Al Smith still remain on the front row. Challengers for position number 3. Jason McClatchy, Charlie Ryan. Justin DeRosa's and Jason McClatchy start side by side in row number 2. Row number 3 belongs to Kevin Baker and Cody Myers, Ken Lindsay, Jared Turnbull, Chris Roberts, Darren Leslie still in the top 10, Zach Regenball in the top 12. Eric Haig still hanging in there in position number 16. Pace car will duck down to the safety of pit road this time by for the second time tonight, and all eyes are on Charlie Ryan, who's hoping to steal that third place position and the third place trophy here in Upstate Racing. Green flag flies once again on the field, and Charlie Ryan's got the jump. And now here comes Justin DeRosa's trying to steal a win. Al Smith Jr. all looking from the outside in, trying to get around that 4 machine. They're going to continue to go side by side through 3 and 4.
Meanwhile, back in the field, the 24 got a whale of a restart on there. He passed like 6 cars. Oh, and then he gets into the back of the 19 and wreck in front of the...
More trouble on the track involving the 2 and the 66 machine this time by. 75 also gets a piece of that one. Second caution flag comes out tonight, and the 66 machine of Kevin Baker gets involved with the 75 of Cody Myers, the 2 machine. That's the 2 machine of Zach Regenball, also gets a piece of that one. 3, maybe 4 drivers involved in that incident, and that's going to bring out the second caution flag in less than 10 laps.
Yeah, that didn't take long at all. These guys was pushing hard back here, 3 wide, and looks like they just run out of room there on the high side.
And that's the kind of the funny thing about this track here at Bristol. There's just no real estate to run here at Bristol Motor Speedway. These guys, it's tight quarters the entire way through. It is very tight racing no matter where you're at on the track. These guys don't have a whole lot of place to go. If you make the wrong move, if you make a wrong turn, if you don't look before you try to cross over lanes, you could get into somebody else, and that could cause just a huge accordion effect behind you.
Oh yeah, if you got a lift here to check up because you get a little loose, man, them guys behind you are, man, they're up on you by the time you look in your mirror. They're done there. So if you got to check up again after that, yeah, it's going to stack up all the way back. And we're seeing it here. We've had 2 yellows, and we got the points leader back here. He ain't got much damage right now. He's trying to keep it clean back there, but it's going to be awful hard for him.
10 laps completed, 140 laps to go here at the Coliseum in Bristol. And these guys are in for a very long, very entertaining race. Charlie Ryan still in front, stealing away the lead from Al Smith Jr., Justin DeRosers, Jason McClatchy, Ken Lindsay, your top 5. Brandon Otto, after being involved in that first incident, he's now up to 6th. Justin Fuller has found a way to get through. He's in 7th. Darren Leslie 8th, Nick Rasmussen 9th, and Scott Davis in your top 10. 12 drivers now remain on the lead lap. Chris Roberts, Cody Myers, 1 lap down. Donald Regenball, 2 laps down. And Eric Haig right now being scored 4 laps down on the field. Actually, I take it back. Eric Haig is not on the racing surface. Eric Haig is pulled up behind the wall, and he is done for the night.
Well, I tell you, it didn't take an awful long time to thin out this field. They might get some green flag laps here in about 20 laps if he keeps this up. There won't be but about 10 cars out there.
Actually, I take it back. Eric Haig is now on pit road trying to see what they can do to salvage a 00 machine. The same with the 2 of Zach Regenball. They are both down on pit road trying to salvage a run tonight. Cody Myers, the 75 machine, the same position for him. He's trying to do whatever he can to salvage his car. Brian Wilson, though, check out the number 11 there, Laura. For a minute there, it was stuck up on the wall of pit road. It looks like he's trying to come down to pit road to get service, hits the safety trash barrels, if you will, and then ends up nosing it on the wall, and that ends Brian Wilson's run here at Bristol.
I reckon under caution, you can't take it easy here for a second. I mean, this track, it's sort of like got a Darlington feel to it, because as soon as you get used to it, man, it just reaches up there and bites you, and it even got him under the yellow.
You're seeing the replay of that number 11 now, and it looks like he just tried too hard, too late. Yeah, gets the gas the wrong way there, and ends up going into the safety cans, and ultimately onto the wall. Definitely a hard way to end your night here at Bristol Motor Speedway. 12 cars remain on the lead lap. Chris Roberts, 2 laps down in position number 13 as we get ready to go green flag racing once more here on lap number 14. Green flag flies. Al Smith's got the jump, but Charlie Ryan's got the lane. He's got the lane advantage down there, and he's going to go all the way low. The 16 takes away the lead in a big way. Al Smith now trying to fight off 2 lanes of traffic behind him. Jason McClatchy, Justin DeRosers fighting for position number 3 out there. And remember, the 70, the 20, and your leader all fighting for position number 3. But that might be a short-lived battle as the 70 and 24 make contact with the wall not once but twice on the back stretch. And now it's a 91 of Ken Lindsay trying to fight off 3 contenders.
They got to be careful with that wall. It'll sneak out and grab him. It's there to 70. He touches it once again there. The 51's going to come up here and give these guys a run for the money. He's getting up here close to the front. Had a good little clean battle trying to keep his nose clean. He might have something for him here in a little bit.
Justin Fuller's worked his way from the back of the field now to position number 5, making up position number 4 as he gets around the 4 of Justin DeRosers. Now the 15 trying to look under the 91 of Ken Lindsay. Ken Lindsay trying to hold off position number 3 as best he can, trying to let the 51 push him towards the front. Ken Lindsay, though, is going to have a hard time trying to get away from the champion as he continues to dig around the turns. Al Smith Jr. squarely in second. Charlie and Ryan, the Castrol GTX 16 machine, is squarely in position number 1, and I've got a feeling he is going to be the car to beat tonight as you see him inch around Eric Haig. Haig's going to go way high and let the leaders fight for position.
Yeah, these guys are starting to pull away a little bit with the battle for third place heating up there. These guys are racing real hard. And it might give these two leaders a chance to break away and have a pretty good run here.
Leaders starting to break away from the rest of the field. Charlie Ryan scoring lap 20, or finishing lap 20 of 150. The 20 of Al Smith Jr. doing the same. The 91 of Ken Lindsay doing everything he can to hold off Justin Fuller in the battle right now for position number 3. Ken Lindsay, the 91, the 51 of Justin Fuller, and the 24 of Brandon Otto. These three guys doing a whole lot of battle, trying to get into that 3rd position, trying to get to that 4th position. Remember, the 24 is one of those contenders for that final position, for that 3rd position, and the top 3 will end up getting a trophy for their efforts tonight. Chris Roberts coming back into the server. He's squarely in 2nd. He will finish the field in points in 2nd place, and he will finish with the Rookie of the Year award, but you know he wanted to have a little bit better showing than 11 laps down.
Oh, yeah. But I'd say he's glad he's got that 2nd place wrapped up, because this is a hard place to race. As far as the 24 goes of Brandon Oda, man, he's got to go hard and be very patient, because if he gets any damage, you know, he's still running for points here. He wants that 3rd place.
He wants a 3rd place. He might have a hard time getting it, but he is still technically in contention points-wise. Justin Fuller, however, he's got a lot of pride on the line in that checkpoint designs machine. He's running, still right behind that number 91 of Ken Lindsay without any problems whatsoever. And I think there's a little bit of strategy to the madness right now, because you see those 3 cars, they've now caught up to 2nd place Al Smith Jr., and not terribly in front of Al Smith Jr. is the 16 of Charlie Ryan. So now Al Smith Jr. starting to see some traffic build up in his rearview mirror, and I've got a feeling that the 15 and 24 hooking up, that was less about conservation and more about getting the draft going here, so they can try to catch up to that one car draft of the 20 of Al Smith.
Yeah, and even though this is a short track, there is still some draft here, because, you know, they run some real fast speeds. This is the fastest half mile around, and they get up there pretty good, and you can catch a sniffer draft there. And it looks like they've stayed in line, and looks like they're going to make a move on this 20 here.
The 91, the first one to poke his nose underneath the 20 of Al Smith Jr. Smith Jr. using the high line disadvantage, fighting as hard as he can up there. Now the battle is between the 91 and the 15 as caution is out for the 3rd time tonight on the field. And I've got a feeling it involved the 4 of Justin DeRosers that got a piece of that incident. It was, in fact, the 4 of Justin DeRosers that ended up getting around. It looks like it might have been a self-spin. Yes, self-spin for the 4 machine. You see it up on your screen right now. The 4 gets loose coming into the turn, able to overcorrect it, goes straight into the wall, and then collects the 75 machine of Cody Myers for the 2nd time tonight. So DeRosers, he's going to have it towed back to the garage, and that is not a good sign. That means the car might not be running under its own power and might need a lot of help to get back on track.
Yeah, it looks like he just dove it in there a little bit too hard, and boy, when he overcorrected, that put his nose right first in the wall there.
30 laps completed of 150 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's go ahead and step away and take our first commercial break of the evening. Al Smith Jr. back in the lead. Can he hold on? We'll find out as we return. You are watching live coverage of the Upstate Racing League on LSRTV.
He has just gotten past Ross Kent, but oh, car spinning. Oh, mercy. We heard that as they went into turn 1, heard something break.
Back under caution here at Bristol Motor Speedway for the third time tonight. The biggest beneficiary, though, Al Smith Jr., your lead administrator here at the Upstate Racing League. He is back in position number 1 as a result of the yellow flag. Ken Lindsay now in second. Justin Fuller, who's worked his way up from the bend of the field, now to position number 3. Brandon Otto, Jason McClatchy, your top 5. And now it looks like the big battle for that final trophy position is going to be between Jason McClatchy and Charlie Ryan and Al Smith Jr. All 3 of those drivers in the top 5 right now, Jason. And that can only mean one thing. Business is about to pick up in a big way.
Yeah, these guys got to put that hammer down. That 20 car, Al Smith, he's got to go. He's got to get away from everybody. Because he wants to be, if they slip up behind him, he wants them to all wreck and take each other out so he can get that win and get them points. Business is about to pick up for sure.
Business is a booming here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Al Smith Jr., Ken Lindsay going to restart it on the front row. Pace car makes its way down pit road for the 4th time tonight. The green silk will fly in the air, and Al Smith Jr. sees it, gets it, and we're back to racing on lap number 35 of 150. Long way to go, and here comes the 51 of Justin Fuller immediately on the heels of the 20 of Al Smith Jr. Smith Jr. gonna run right with the 51, and now he's gonna hold off the champ for that position. Can he do it? The 51 looking low, the 51 trying to dig around that 20 machine. They're gonna go almost side by side. Their turns 1 and 2. 51 has the advantage on the short side around the track.
Yeah, but that 20 car is going to start using that high line, that middle lane when the 15 gets up on him there. I believe he can mile and air him down the straights if he can get that run off on the top.
If he can get the run off the top out here, the 16 of Charlie Ryan now being scored 7 laps back. He had some electrical problems, forced to drop it behind the garage, and the man that was your leader, the man that was sitting pretty for position number 3, he's now going to be 7 laps back, and his contention is for all intents and purposes done here on the track. Now battle between, for position number 3, the 24 and 91 make contact going around turns 3 and 4. The 24, Brandon Otto, makes side contact with a 91 of Ken Lindsay. Behind them, the 9 machine, Jared Turnbull and Jason McClatchy. The 70 still doing battle. The 70 machine way high on turns 1 and 2. Now he's going to do it again through 3 and 4. McClatchy digging as hard as he can, but he is treading some very, very thin ice up there.
Yeah, that's a little loose up there, and you can see that 9 car. He's getting a real good run on that bottom. That 70 car was plumb sideways running that top line up there.
Zach Regenball going to pull up behind the garage. He says the suspension is just destroyed on this machine, and he has no way he can continue to run it tonight. Back up front, your top 4 now running in box formation almost. 20 of Al Smith still has the advantage. Justin Fuller immediately on his tail. Back behind him for position number 3, the 24, Brandon Otto, fighting with Ken Lindsay III in the 91 machine. They are going to continue to do business through the turn, side by side. All 4 of these drivers looking to switch it up, looking to make their mark known. Now here comes the 24 underneath the 51, and we got a battle for position number 2.
Well, that's some great side-by-side racing going on here. That 24's got a good run when he gets it down on that bottom there. Looks like the 51 got loose there coming off of 4 a little bit. That 20's got to be loving it, though. He's just got to keep that hammer down and hope they stay too wide behind him.
The 51 trying to keep it off the wall, may have made contact with the wall coming off of turn number 2 there, and it looks like that car is just not set up for the outside lane. And as soon as I say that, the 51 hits the hammer, gets past the 24, and now wants to get past the 20. I don't know where exactly Justin Fuller found that in him. He might have had an extra can of NOS we didn't know about in that machine, but somehow the 15 gets around 2 cars in 1 lap. And now your champion, Justin Fuller, position number 1. Brandon Otto, 2nd. Al Smith and Ken Lindsay battling it out for 3rd.
And that's opened the door there for Brandon Otto in the 24. He's got a good run, and he followed the 51 through there. Now you got the 91 and the 20 side-by-side racing again. That top line ain't holding out as much as I thought it would. The 20 slips back to 4th.
Battle now back up front for the front position between Otto and Fuller. Justin Fuller trying to get a cape off the 24 machine of Brandon Otto. Otto just too strong out there. And now Brandon Otto, who has 1 win on the season, wants to make it 2 wins. As you can see him continuing to battle side by side with the 51. Justin Fuller not set up for the high side, retains the lead, but only by 100th of a second, less than a blink of an eye between the 51 and the 24. 24 seems to have found taken root down on that low side, and now he is doing everything he can, digs around the 15. We have a new leader, the 24 of Brandon Otto.
He's got to be thinking, slam that pedal down and max points. If I win this race, I get max points, and that's what he needs right here today.
He needs those max points in a big way, and plus the second win certainly wouldn't hurt his 2014 campaign. Brandon Otto now leading this field. Justin Fuller not in a hurry to get around him. I think Fuller's playing a little bit of conservation games now as we get to the third of the way down point here at Bristol. Ken Lindsay in position number 3, Al Smith Jr. in 4th, and then there's Jared Turnbull in that yellow number 9 machine. Don't score him out just yet. He has got a clean machine. All he needs to do is get on the rear bumper of the 20, and what was a 4-car battle will have turned to a 5-car battle. Jason McClatchy, one of those drivers battling for that third position. He is now all the way back in position number 6. Nothing he can do right now except hope somebody in front of him makes a mistake that he can capitalize on, though I've got a feeling that Coors Light number 70 machine might have a little bit of damage on it out there on the field. Kevin Baker in the 66 machine, running as fast as he can, running incredibly hard out there, and I think it's only a matter of time before he catches up with the 70 of Jason McClatchy. That 60 machine, the Dinosaur Barbecue machine, just digging as hard as he can out there, turning in some incredible times. 16 seconds around the track last time by, and that is faster right now than Jason McClatchy is turning laps, so it's only a matter of time before those two hook up. Charlie Ryan running with Nick Rasmussen right now. Charlie Ryan leading the race earlier, got booted off the track after an electrical issue in the 16 machine. Back on the track, though, he is now 7 laps down, and his night might be, for all intents and purposes, done. Last driver running on the track right now is Scott Davis, Eric Haig. They're both running on track, but their night could very well just be done. They could be running for exhibition right now, as they are severely behind the field.
And a close call for Al Smith Jr. He went into 3 there pretty hard a few laps ago, got down on the apron, and got him a little sideways, and he had to check up real big, and that opened the door for Jared Turnbull to get up on the wheel, and he's grabbed that position away from him.
So Jared Turnbull now position number 4, trying to catch up with the 91 of Ken Lindsay III to get position number 3. Your top 5, a lot of space between these guys. Brandon Otto now has half a second over Justin Fuller, which in the reality of things isn't that long, but at a short track like this, every second, every moment counts. Brandon Otto seems to be increasing his moments over Justin Fuller. That time by, Fuller almost picked up a full 1/10 of a second, or Otto picked up a full 1/10 of a second over Justin Fuller. So Fuller noticeably dropping back now from Brandon Otto, and I've got to wonder if that's not a conservation tactic from Fuller, trying to save the tires underneath him so he can make a run at Otto later on in the race.
Oh, it most definitely could be. We still got 90 laps to go. It's a long way here. The laps go by real fast, but that's a long way on a set of tires, so it'll take its toll. So, yeah, you got to save what you can. That 24's got to be thinking about that, too. He needs to get his comfortable lead there, but he needs to save a little bit, too, for the end, in case we get a late race caution.
It looks like he's trying to save those tires now as that lead is stabilized between Otto and Fuller. Not a whole lot of fluctuation now between the 24 and the 51 machine, although 51 does have a little bit of advantage now, trying to start making up some time on that 24 machine of Brandon Otto. So the 51 looks like playing the conservation game. Ken Lindsay still in 3rd, nowhere to go. He's just watching the 2 drivers in front of him do a little bit of battle. Al Smith Jr. now just running along the back bumper of Jared Turnbull. The 9 and the 20 machine continue to run single file. Kevin Baker caught up with Jason McClatchy, passed him. McClatchy now is in 7th. Nick Rasmussen is nearest competition in 8th. 9th, 10th, and 12th belong right now to Scott Davis in the number 18 machine, the Darren Leslie in the 18 machine, Scott Davis in the 1, and the 00 of Eric Haig. So really, 11 drivers remain here on the track, but in all honesty, it's really only about maybe the top 4.
Yeah, that top 4 is pulled away from the rest of the field. They've really got the rhythm down here, and it looks like they've got their cars working the best they can right here on this little run. And we'll try to ride it out, log some laps here, try to get down to 50 laps to go, maybe before they put the hammer back down again.
Currently running lap 68 of 150. Otto, Fuller, Lindsay, Turnbull, Smith, your top 5, and really no fluctuation. This is where we play the waiting game. As Otto about to run in some lap traffic here. Eric Haig, Darren Leslie, Scott Davis, all about to go one lap down to your leader. The 181 will not go quietly, or sorry, the 118 will not go quietly into that good night. Darren Leslie trying to fight for position with Brandon Otto. The Purelator, retro scheme of Scott Davis. He's going to try to fight to go one lap down. The 18 yields eventually, but the number 1 is Scott Davis. He will not yield. He's not going to relent. He's going to stay in the 24th path, but that's not going to matter because the 24 blows by him on the outside. Now a whole lot of traffic between the 24 and the 15 plays to the advantage of Brandon Otto.
Yeah, he's going to put that hammer down right here to try to stretch out that lead. And these guys, this part of this run, you really got to save your tires so you can have something left for the end of the race. That's what this whole run will be all about, is who can run the hardest but save the most at the same time.
80 left to go before we crown a champion here at the season finale for Upstate Racing League at Bristol Motor Speedway. And now the 15 machine getting around all that lap traffic. The 91 immediately on his bumper, and now we could have a battle for the second brewing as Ken Lindsay immediately on the back bumper, the 51 of Justin Fuller. Fuller just does not look like he's incredibly comfortable in that 51 machine right now. The checkpoint design, green and black machine, it looks like he's just not 100% happy with that machine, but he knows he can't go down a pit road to get adjustments, because if he does, he will lose well over a lap.
Yeah, maybe even 2 laps here, as they're pacing around this place pretty quick, under 16 seconds here. That's really fast for these cars. It looks like he may have some right side damage there. He may have rubbed that wall one too many times, maybe slowing him down a little bit.
It could have been that, or it also could have affected how his car is running out there, and the suspension might not be what he wants it to be, especially if he hit that outside wall directly with those tires. And if that happened, then suspension damage could be in play, and Justin Fuller's night could go from bad to worse. But still, second place ain't bad here at the half mile at Bristol. 91 now goes underneath the 51. We could be looking at a pass for second place.
Oh, and contact. He gets into his left rear there. The 91 touched the 51.
91 touches the 51. 51 ends up the benefactor of that, as he's able to get now a car length and a half over the 91 of Ken Lindsay the third. Justin Fuller stays in second. Nobody near him. Justin Fuller continuing to run, and I think it's less about conservation so much as survival at this point. Though he doesn't have a whole lot to worry about. He's the champion, so he's just running out here for fun tonight. Ken Lindsay, on the other hand, running for pride. You know he wants to beat the champion, if nothing else, for bragging rights.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most definitely he wants to pass that 51. He stuck his nose in there a couple times, and he's driving hard to keep up with him there as you see him slide the rear end off the corner. Yeah, he's got the hammer down. He'll be looking to get by him here in a few laps.
Brandon Otto has put a time zone between him and Justin Fuller. Last time around, almost a second and a half between him and the 51 machine. Well over a second and a half between him and the 91. And Jared Turnbull on an island of his own right now, all the way back 4 seconds behind your leader. Al Smith 6 seconds behind your leader. So we've already learned something very interesting out here. Bristol is the great equalizer. This track will make sure that you respect it and you respect your fellow competitors, because if you don't, you'll be chewed up and spit out very, very quickly. Another interesting fact here, Jason, only 7 drivers left on the lead lap. Last driver on the lead lap, Jason McClatchy. Caution on the field, and it's going to involve the 18 machine of Darren Leslie.
Yeah, he threw it down in the corner there in 3, and looks like he run it in a little hard and got down on the apron, and it just spun around on him. He locked it down and was able to keep it off anybody, so he may not have any damage. But that's going to hurt his chances there.
That's the only damage he's going to have as a result of that one is a little bit of ego and maybe some flat spots on the tires, where the 18 could still be in at least drivable condition. 1 lap down, probably 2 when everything is said and done with. So Darren Leslie not needing that caution, but everybody else behind Brandon Otto, including Justin Fuller, Ken Lindsay, Jared Turnbull, and Al Smith, absolutely needed that caution to get back up to the leader. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break as these guys sort out here under the caution flag. Brandon Otto, Ken Lindsay, Jared Turnbull, your top three. How long will it remain that way? We'll find out when we return. You're watching the Upstate Racing League live on LSR TV. A double file restart getting ready to go here for Upstate Racing League at Bristol Motor Speedway for the season finale. Brandon Otto, Ken Lindsay on the front row, Jared Turnbull, Al Smith, Justin Fuller, your top five as they get ready to go back to green flag racing. Brandon Otto jumps the restart in a big way as soon as they went out, as soon as he went off the pace car, went off pit road. Brandon Otto put the hammer down and was gone. Jared Turnbull now trying to get position number two. Justin Fuller, way too strong in the 50-volt machine. The Checkpoint Designs driver is going to pull ahead into position number two. Jared Turnbull falls to position number three. Al Smith finds his way back from fourth to fifth. And Kenneth Lindsay is going to stay in position number four. Reese not waiting for anything. He was gone as soon as they said the word.
Yeah, Brandon Otto's got to be going like crazy because I was watching there on that caution. The 51 of Justin Fuller, now he's got two tires. He entered pit road there, and got to keep an eye on that 70. He was down pit road and took four.
Went down, took tires. Go ahead, finish your thought there. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. But yeah, these guys gotta watch these cars with the fresh tires. Got some strategy in play here to see if these fresh tires can run down these older ones.
So Brandon Otto on the restart, doing everything he can to preserve his lead. Now having a second over Justin Fuller in second, and with those tires, Fuller can run a little bit harder out there, especially coming up to the 100 lap mark, leaving 50 to go. And you know Justin Fuller is going to do everything he can to try to keep up with Brandon Otto. Right now, their lap times pretty much identical on the track. Nobody having an advantage out there. Jared Turnbull still in third, but here comes Ken Lindsay trying to get around him in position number four. Ken Lindsay about a car length away from Jared Turnbull, and those guys are going to get ready to do some business here as the laps start to wind down.
Oh yeah, it's the 91. He's creeping in down there. He's going to stick his nose in here in turn 1. Looks like he's got the inside. We're going to be too wide here off of 2.
Too wide off of turn number 2, going into 3 and 4, and it's going to be Ken Lindsley, who's got the advantage line there. He's got the line with the advantage. He's got the low line trying to bang off the door of the 9 machine. And it's going to be Ken Lindsley who's going to ultimately pick up position number 3 off Jared Turnbull. Back up front, no change amongst your leaders. Otto still almost a second now over Justin Fuller. Fuller just can't get the grip he needs to get around the track. Your lead administrator, Al Smith Jr., comfortably in position number 5. Now Nick Rasmussen passes Jason McClatchy for position number 6, all the way back to the 70 machine of Nick Rasmussen, easily dispatching the 70 of McClatchy. And you've got to be, your heart's got to break just a little bit for Jason McClatchy. He came in here, one of the core contenders for that top 3 position, and now McClatchy, all he can do after hitting that wall one too many times, all he can do is just watch as his hopes of having the 3rd place trophy on his desk go slipping away.
Yeah, but if he's smart here, he's got a little strategy in play. It could work out for him if they go green the rest of the way. He was down pit road there on that last caution, took 4 tires. If he takes it easy here and rides on them new tires and don't burn them off, he might have something for him here at the end of the race.
It's entirely possible, but time is running out. We are less than 50 laps to go before we crown a winner here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Brandon Otto just continues to improve his lead out there. Justin Fuller in 2nd, and Fuller's now a time zone away from Brandon Otto. Almost 2 seconds between those 2 drivers, which means Brandon Otto really is in absolute control of this field.
Yeah, I've been watching the 51 of Justin Fuller. It seems like his car is really tight. He does have some nose damage right in the center of the nose, so that could be hindering his chances here. But he did come down pit road and take just right side tires, trying to free the car up a little bit. But I still see him working the apron every once in a while, trying to get it to turn.
You run on board now with the 51 of Justin Fuller, and you can see just how big that gap is between him and Brandon Otto. Now, I know there's something to be said for the conservation game. I absolutely get that. But if you came down pit road, if you've got the tires, and you're less than 50 laps away from crowning the champion in a season-ending race, you got to do something. You got to hit the hammer. You got to roll the dice a little bit. If you don't, you're only guaranteeing yourself the inevitable, a 2nd place finish. And in the words of Dale Earnhardt, second's only the first loser.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. I mean, you gotta save, but you gotta go hard at the same time. I mean, there's a fine line of running too hard and saving, and that's one of the hardest things to do here. But yeah, you gotta make good lap times. You gotta keep that hammer down. We're closing in on the finish. Almost 40 laps to go. It's time for these drivers to use what they got left.
You'll use what you got left, smoke if you got them. 41 laps left on this race as Brandon Otto now trying to get past the 1 of Scott Davis and the 00 of Eric Haig. A little bit of traffic in front of him, and traffic never bodes well here at Bristol Motor Speedway, especially when you're charging these straights at over 120 miles per hour, which is just really under what a Cup car can do. Very, very close, but just under it. So these guys effectively running NASCAR style speeds in these big late models, and you can tell they're just having a lot of fun out there with these machines.
Oh yeah, that's super fast lap times. I mean, they're under 16 seconds. That's as fast as a Cup car on old tires. That's moving on pretty good. That's real fast lap times. As the 24 clears these 2 lap cars, and man, he's just set sail. 2.5 of them full.
That is a 00 of Eric Haig and the 18 machine of Darren Leslie. Only 8 cars remain on the lead lap. Only 10 cars remain on the track at all. 18 started, 10 remain on the field. Just shows you how competitive, how tense, how hard this race has been fought here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And now Brandon Otto, he is manifesting his own destiny right now. Nobody around him, passes the lap traffic with ease. Now, to give you a frame of reference, Justin Fuller, he is all the way back behind this lap traffic that Brandon Otto just passed.
Yeah, he's just now catching up to him, and the lap cars are too wide right now, so that's going to slow him down even more as he tries to find a way around him.
Doing everything he can to get around him, to try to move around him. The 51 of Justin Fuller going to continue to dig now around that one, the old school Purelator machine of Scott Davis, and the 18 of Darren Leslie out there. Both those drivers still hanging on to 9th and 10th respectively, so they can still battle with each other for the top 10 position. But at this point, if you're still on the track, you're guaranteed a top 10 position here in the Upstate Racing League. Justin Fuller second, and now over 2 seconds between him and Brandon Otto. Otto really control of his own destiny, as I said a moment ago, with nobody around him. I don't think a yellow flag could even slow down the 24 of Brandon Otto. He is just running too strong out there. The 24 machine just running too fast, continuing to get to dig around that 51 machine. 2.2 seconds last time around. Otto just has to complete the next 31 circuits, and he's got this race in the bag.
Yeah, he sure does. And the race on the track right now is actually for the 4th place. The 20 car just got around the 9, and it looks like the double zeros just smacked the wall there pretty good.
Somebody hit the wall pretty good back there, but we're going to continue to run under green flag. Nobody's around. Everybody continues moving in the right direction. So let's go ahead and continue running here under the green flag. Brandon Otto continuing to lead on this field. No really whole lot of battles to speak of. Maybe the 1 and the 91. The 91 having a little bit of trouble getting around the 1 of Scott Davis. Ken Lindsley doing everything he can, but Lindsley's got some rear end damage on the 91 machine that could be hurting his aerodynamics just a little bit. He's looking a little loose out there on the track there, Jason.
Yeah, it looks like he's got been hitting the rear end pretty good. That's got that spoiler pushed up a little bit, but it's not sitting back as far as it would be. So it could hurt him or it could help him there. You know, getting hit like that, you'd hope that at a place like this that it would push the spoiler up. But yeah, he's awful loose, so it could be hurting him there.
Looks like a little V in the 91 Tide machine of Lindsley, and that is hurting him through the turns. You see him just wrestling with that car out there through the turns. But this race pretty much over, and all he has to do is hold on for the next 26 laps, and 3rd place could very well be his. Brandon Otto, 2.3 seconds over Justin Fuller and company. Behind Otto, they're battling for, it looks like, position number 7 on the track. That's the 71 of Nick Rasmussen fighting with the 66 of Kevin Baker. Kevin Baker now doing everything he can. Almost got in the back of the 71 machine. The 66 looks just that much faster out there, and I think he's trying to give the 71 the hint to get out of his way, because he wants to try to pick up some position. Points matter in this series, and whatever you do at the end of this series will carry over into the next.
Yeah, they got to think about that too. So it's just not the points for today; it's the points to start out next season. So you know that's on everybody's mind, because we see the 24 car there lapped the 70. So them new tires must not be helping him out any at all.
Now the 51 machine going to get around the 66. 66 for some reason just dropped off the 71. Not exactly sure why the 66 dropped off so bad, but now there's a huge gap between them and Nick Rasmussen squarely in position number 7 as Justin Fuller fights to get around him. That time by 2.5 seconds between him and the 24 Brandon Otto. So Otto now completely and totally in control of this race. 5 cars on the lead lap. And Brandon Otto just ticking them off like they were fleas on a dog. Otto, 20 laps to go before he's crowned champion.
Yeah, and he's still running real good lap times. The last lap by was a 15.88. That's pretty good for these late models.
It would be great for these late models, and they continue to run hard out here on this track, and none harder than Otto. The big more trouble now for the number 18 as he spins out once again. That's Darren Leslie. He spun out almost in front of your leaders. Now he's going to just back it up so he can get down pit road before incident, but that might not be enough to leave the caution flag out. Nope, caution flag stays in as the 18 able to escape trouble before it happens. So the 18 spins out, ends up on the front stretch, backs it up, and then back onto pit road. Great move for the 18 of Darren Leslie, but that, for all intents and purposes, ends his night on the track.
Yeah, he dove it in there to 3 pretty hard and got his left sides on the apron there. He got sideways there. Looks like he hit the water barrels there at the end.
Those water barrels have taken a lot of abuse tonight here at Bristol Motor Speedway with only 16 laps left to go, 15 to go. Brandon Otto still squarely in control of this field. Justin Fuller, Ken Lindsley, second and third. Al Smith Jr. fourth. Jared Turnbull, your top 5. Jason McClatchy, 6th. Nick Rasmussen, 7th. Kevin Baker, 8th. Scott Davis, 9th. And only 9 cars, count them, 9 cars remain on this field. I take back maybe 10 cars if Eric Hague is still running. Derek Hague is still running. So 10 cars remain on this field here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Brandon Otto in control of all of them, and it looks like he is going to walk away with this lead unless something catastrophic happens to that number 24 machine, the iRacing Memes Corvette. And you got to give Brandon Otto a little bit of credit out there. He's got 1 win under his belt, but more importantly, he's the only guy running a Corvette on this entire field.
Heck yeah, yeah, that car looks sharp. That's a good looking car he's got there. As we got about 10 laps to go, and he's got almost 3 seconds on the field, and he's got that thing wrapped up. They don't have yellow.
The iRacing Memes Corvette is in absolute control of this field. 11 laps before we crown a champion. The checkpoint graphics afford of Justin Fuller second, 2 seconds away, and it will be Ken Lindsley, the Tide Chevrolet, in position number 3. That is kind of a cool paint scheme, though. That brings you back to shades of Darrell Waltrip, if I remember correctly, running that Tide Monte Carlo.
Yeah, it sure does, and he ran that thing for years. I think Jeff Emmett was the crew chief when he was running the Tide ride. They've had a few scuffles down here in the infield of Bristol.
Just a few?
Yeah, that was always fun. You know, when I was growing up, we had, it was always Earnhardt and Waltrip when I was growing up. When we got to Bristol, man, it was a show. And then when, like Earnhardt spun Terry there and won that year, man, that was a riot.
Always a riot when you come down here to Bristol Motor Speedway. Brandon Otto just from cruise control at this point. 7 laps to go before we take the checkered flag. And Otto 3 seconds over Justin Fuller. Fuller telling his crew chief, tell the officials in Upstate to tear down that 24. I want to make sure nothing's in it. You can't blame him. Fuller has got it, even though he's a champion. You know he wanted to win this race. It's just his competitive nature.
Yeah, and Brandon Otto, man, he's had the class car of the field here. I mean, he's got 3 seconds over the whole entire field, and he's just had that hammer down once he got to first place. Should have never let him have that lead. He's run away with it.
Brandon Otto just running away with the lead with 5 laps to go now on this field. This race, for all intents and purposes, Don, we're just running parade laps at this point at 120-some miles per hour. 4 laps to go out of this juncture. Brandon Otto squarely in control. Yellow flag comes out. The race will end under the caution parade, but I don't think that's going to be a challenge out here, as only a handful of cars remain on the racing surface. I believe only 6 cars, I think that's 7 cars, are remaining on the racing surface tonight after what's just been a very contentious night at Bristol.
Yeah, these guys in the top 5 here that don't have any pressure, they just got to cruise and bring it home and get themselves a good finish and a good points day for them.
Popsicle sticks in the air that time by Brandon Otto, the 24 iRacing Memes Corvette. Going to bring it around one more time before the white flag flies in the air. And then Otto, he's got to do 1 more half mile around Bristol Motor Speedway through turns 1 and 2. And no matter what happens, unless Brandon Otto's car spontaneously combusts, He will be your winner here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's time to make it official. Brandon Otto crosses the checkers. He will win the season finale race of Upstate Racing League here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Justin Fuller comes home second. Again, Lindsley third. Al Smith Jr. fourth. Jared Turnbull, your top five. Jason McClatchy, Kevin Baker, Nick Rasmussen, Scott Davis, Eric Haig, your top 10. And Brandon Otto really, he went out of his way tonight. He earned this win. Only his second win of the season, but you know it's got to feel the best being the season ender. The 51 giving him the racing stripe to congratulate him, and now the 24 getting ready to burn him out. And it looks like he can't burn him out yet because he's got some friends coming over to congratulate him. There he goes. The burnout's happening now.
Yeah, great win by Brandon Odo. It's time to burn that baby down now. Smoke him if you got him.
Welcome if you got him. Brandon Otto, your winner here in the season finale. Justin Fuller doing the burnouts as well to celebrate his championship. When we return, we'll talk to your top two finishers and recap what's been an incredible season here in the Upstate Racing League. Brandon Otto, your winner. Justin Fuller, your champion. We'll talk to them next on LSRTV. Brandon Otto doing the reverse of victory lap here, thanking the fans for his big win here tonight. He will win the season finale here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Justin Fuller's second, Ken Lindsley finishing third tonight. Al Smith Jr. in fourth. Jared Turnbull fifth. Jason McClatchy finishes sixth. Kevin Baker seventh. Nick Rasmussen eighth. Scott Davis ninth. Eric Haig finishes in 10th. Darren Leslie, Charlie Ryan, Dan Dubuque, Justin DeRosers, Cody Myers, your top 15. The rest of the field is Zach Regenball in 16th. Chris Roberts, your rookie of the year, 17th. Brian Wilson, position number 18. Brandon Otto making your big winner here in the iRacing Memes Corvette, getting ready to celebrate a big win. And Brandon, before we ask you anything else, how good does it feel to win the season finale here at Upstate Racing?
Oh, it feels great. After this break that I took, and coming back last week, having so much momentum, and bringing it right into this one. I mean, I couldn't be more happy right now.
It really seems like this little hiatus you took has been the best thing that's happened to you. You take a little break, you get some stuff sorted out. Last week you're a podium finisher. Tonight you're a big winner. How much of that hiatus really helped you mentally and emotionally to get back in championship form?
Oh, it definitely helped. I mean, I just took the couple weeks off, and I really cleared my head, and I got my priorities in order, and I just came back with a clear conscience, and I mean, I'm so stoked right now to have this win, especially the season finale out here with Upstate Racing. I mean, it's not easy to win against these guys, and it felt really good to go out there and dominate tonight.
Brandon, tonight you really have the car to beat. Nobody really could compete with you. Nobody could catch up to you. What was the secret? What kept that 24 so fast out there? Was it the setup? Was it the track? What really made it work for you in the 24 team tonight?
You know what? I'll be honest. I've had a love-hate relationship with this track. I've never ever finished good here. This is actually my first win ever at Bristol on iRacing. So this is a big one. Not sure what it was, but the car just stuck tonight, and it was something that I could drive. I felt like I was driving the dirt tracks like I do in real life, just the way I was putting it in the corners, and it was sticking, and I couldn't be more happy with the setup that Austin Russell and Andrew Lauer and Wesley Daniel gave me over at DL Performance. I mean, they hooked this car up tonight.
The virtual season ends, the regular season begins, the real racing season begins, I guess you could say. Brandon, where are we going to see you running this summer?
This summer I will be running my 600cc micro sprint all over New York State with the NY6A Tour. We'll be running all over the tracks all over Western New York, like Raceway 5, Lime Rock Speedway, Black Rock, Brewerton, and also Freedom this year, all over Western New York. So if you're out that way, come out and watch, and if you see me out there, come say hi. I'll definitely come out and say hi to you.
We'll certainly look forward to doing that. Brandon, a lot of guys make this possible for you. Who makes it work for you, buddy?
I definitely got to thank the iRacing Memes Facebook page. If you haven't liked that already, go to facebook.com/IRMEMES. We post a lot of funny stuff all the time over there. I also like to thank DL Performance, Austin Russell, Andrew Lauer, and Wesley Daniel, who made this car tonight. Just an incredible setup tonight. Also like to thank anybody who came out and watched tonight. It really means a lot, and I really appreciate it. And also one big shout out to Al Smith putting on this league for us. I mean, he puts his heart into this league. He puts everything he's got into this league, and it's just a lot of fun to come out here and run with these guys that are so competitive week in, week out, and just got to have a big shout out to him. Also, Justin Fuller for winning his 3rd championship in a row. Hopefully we'll get him next year.
Brandon Otto finishing first tonight here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Brandon, congratulations on the big finish, and nothing but the best for you in your dirt racing season this year.
Thanks, guys.
That is Brandon Otto driving the number 24 iRacing Memes machine, finishing first. Justin Fuller in the 51 machine finishing second here tonight, the Checkpoint Designs Ford Fusion. And Justin, I know you won the championship, but how bad did you want to make this win number 7 tonight?
Oh, badly, man. Bristol's always eluded me. I can't quite figure it out. These guys, if it ain't Matthew Wright, it's going to be Brandon Otto. It's going to be somebody else that can beat me at Bristol. I just don't understand it. That's the one track I want to win at here, and I just can't seem to get it done.
You led for all of 1.5 laps out here before Brandon Otto just put the hammer down, and he was gone, never to be seen again. What was the hardest part about fighting with Otto for that number 1 position?
It wasn't much of a fight. I mean, once I cleared the path, he just passed me with no problem, like it was nothing. I enjoy racing with him, even though I didn't really get to race with him. I mean, he was gone most of the race. So.
But still, the championship is yours officially. All you had to do was show up tonight for the championship, and this is going to be your 2nd consecutive championship here in Upstate Racing.
Actually, it's my 3rd consecutive.
3rd consecutive? Who's counting?
Yeah, right. I mean, who's counting? I had a special paint scheme on tonight from Checkpoint Graphics. They do a great job, great work. If you want to check them out online, they make t-shirts and all sorts of goodies, designs for race cars and fire suits and all sorts of good stuff. They made me a special scheme for tonight. They put 3-time all over it and made it known, and it was a fast car, just wasn't quite fast enough.
Let me ask you this, and don't take any offense to it, but 3 consecutive championships. Have the other drivers around here started calling you Jimmy yet?
They've said I've had a golden horseshoe stuck up where the sun don't shine. I've heard that a few times already.
Justin, congratulations on your third consecutive championship here at Upstate Racing League. What's next for you? Where are we going to see Justin Fuller running again?
You might catch me running a few NIS open races on iRacing. I don't have any real world racing going on this year. Just on iRacing in general, you'll see me racing. You'll see me racing here in the Upstate Racing League, that's for sure, on Wednesday nights with the Truck Series. I don't know if I have any broadcast races. That's with the Can-Am Racing Series and the Upstate Racing League, or a joint effort on the Truck Series. I actually won that event last night at Daytona, and we head to Martinsville next week there, so that's going to be fun.
We'll certainly look forward to seeing you here in the iRacing sim throughout the year. Justin, who makes it work for you in the 51 team?
I got to thank Demiel Motorsports, Checkpoint Graphics. They make by far the best designs on iRacing. They make some real world cars that are outstanding. They've won some, I don't know what you would call them, I guess. They've won some contests on dirt cars and up here in upstate New York. I got to thank Smith Media Productions, LSRTV, Joe Dubuque Painting, everybody that helped make this league run the way it did this season. It was an outstanding season. It was our best season yet. We've had outstanding car numbers. Tonight's race didn't really go as planned. We had a couple big wrecks there, but other than that, it's been a great season. I'm proud to be the champion again. It's been fun, and I got to thank my girlfriend for putting up with me, all this crap and racing, just like usual, and it's fun. I'm glad I can do this.
Six-time winner in 2014, your three-time champion, Justin Fuller, coming home second tonight. Justin, congratulations on a big finish. Congratulations on the championship, and best of luck to you in your iRacing endeavors throughout the year.
Thanks.
Justin Fuller finishing second here tonight, Bristol Motor Speedway. Al Smith now joining us here down on the on the front road, and Al, what a great season you guys have had. 13 races. 13 was on Wednesday. I think he dropped the gauntlet. A lot of great drivers came out here and gave their heart for this league.
Definitely has, and it's been such an honor to have such a good crowd of guys that show up week in and week out and give us support and put on a good show for everybody watching at home, and hopefully put on a good show for you guys calling it up in the booth. And what a race. That was so much fun. The setup was a little bit tricky on fresh tires, spotted them out pretty good. But, it was a handful. Hated to see those early cautions taking out some of our Rookie of the Year, Chris Roberts, and, Dan Dubuque, some of our front runners that run week in, week out. But it was a good race, and thank you guys for, taking the time, and hope you enjoyed it.
Justin Fuller, we got to talk about that driver in that car. Three-time champion, wins 6 times in 2014. I'm assuming that next season we're going to see some challengers to the King.
I'm hoping this season definitely he had some thrown at him. We tried a handicapping system this season, which was unique, and a lot of the drivers were on the fence whether they'd like it or not, and a lot of them end up like it. They're asking for it for next season. Pretty much what that is we run time trials before the broadcast comes on. The top 12 cars get put into a handicapping based on their last 2 finishes. So you might have the fastest car, but that doesn't mean you start up front. So it makes them work for it. And hats off to Justin Fuller, 3-season champ, and hopefully, he's definitely going to stick around. He's already pestering me about next season. So, and next season's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to switch it up to super late models. Pretty much going to switch it all up on Justin. Maybe that'll knock him off his throne.
So the Smith Media Productions late model series will go to the super late models. When are we going to find out more information about that? I know a lot of people is already getting in front of you. When is that schedule, and when is that information going to be released?
Right now we're working on putting the schedule together right now, talking with some great partners, in which we had some really good partners this season with Joe Dubuque Painting and Lake City RC Speedway. We have a lot of good things in the works right now, and hopefully those guys will come back next season and support us some more, so we can get showcase the talent that's here on iRacing. A lot of us, we either help on real race cars or race real race cars during the summertime. So I would say, the next few weeks I'll have a schedule put together with the guys, and I can't thank them enough. We have a committee for the racing board that consists of Justin Fuller, Brandon Otto, Kevin Baker, and Dan Dubuque, and we all pretty much do a little powwow and get the schedule and rules set. And I tell you, everybody's really chopping at the bit to get in the super late model.
Al Smith, real quick, what's next for you in Smith Media Productions? What are you guys been keeping yourselves busy with this summer?
This summer we're going to be chasing some go-kart racing around New York and Pennsylvania, and doing that. That's what we do, and so you can find those videos on YouTube and Vimeo, where we have our channel on there for Upstate Racing Show. Just staying busy, getting things set up for the next season, and continue with that. We just started a Super Truck series with the Can-Am Racing Series, so that went well last night. We had 30 trucks signed up into the pits at Daytona. And you can still sign up for that, and sign-ups will be ongoing for the super late models. It's never ending being a promoter of a series, Joe.
Never-ending work. Al Smith, your promoter, your director, your everything here at Upstate Racing League. Al, congratulations on a very successful season, and we definitely look forward to the racing in later on this year when you guys go back racing again.
Thanks, Joe, and I thank everybody at the LSRTV, Laura up in the truck. You guys do a great job, and we're probably one of the best broadcasting companies, if not the only broadcasting company out there. So definitely a thumbs up to you guys, and I appreciate all your hard work and efforts that go in behind the scenes.
Al Smith, the guy that makes it all work here at Upstate Racing League, closing out the 2014 season for us. That'll do it for us here down on Victory Road. On behalf of our entire broadcast crew, everyone who makes it possible here, including Al Smith and our friends at Smith Media Productions, my partner in crime, Jason Stout, Laura Lawson, our executive producer, and professional button pusher down there in the hauler. On behalf of that entire team that makes it happen, I am Joe Cortez, congratulating Brandon Otto on his win tonight, Justin Fuller on his third consecutive championship at Upstate Racing. We look forward to going back racing with Upstate Racing League later this year. Until we see each other again, good night, everybody.